What up and welcome to Generation News. My name is Justin Ortiz and this is Generation News, where we highlight only the positive things young people are doing in our community. Our first story today is the behind the scenes on what Generation News is all about and how we got started. So check us out. We started back in 2008 just because we saw that there was a lack of positive news out there. A lot of TV shows, a lot of the media tends to focus more on the negative things that are going on in the community. Well, me and a friend of mine, we started Generation News back in 2008, and it sort of just started out with just an idea. We had no idea how to run a business, how to run a nonprofit organization, or even a video camera for that matter. So we really just started teaching ourselves how to do video. We started just networking with different people to see what we needed to do to make this thing happen. And we came in connection with a lot of powerful people who put us in contact with even more powerful people to make Generation News happen. So we turned it into a nonprofit organization, and we ended up linking up with Channel 13 and CW16, where they offered us time slots during the 5 o'clock news. We would have a 30-second time slot on 5 o'clock news. And then from that point, we graduated to having our own show, where we just hosted a bunch of different stories where we had, just positive young people who are doing some pretty great things. And we were on the air for about a year and a half. And we learned a lot from what we were doing. Met a lot of good people and made a name for ourselves. Definitely being on TV was a high point. Not a lot of people can get on Channel 13 or CW16, and it was great because we were amateurs at it. Like, we really didn't know what we were doing, and we were able to put together a TV show that was aired on TV. So what amateur doesn't want to be on TV? So that's kind of how we felt, and we were very excited about that. Some of the characteristics that I embody to keep Generation News going is really just determination and perseverance. Like, you got to have those two things, because throughout life, no matter what you do, people are going to tell you no. You're going to fail at things, but as long as you know to just keep going, keep persevering, and be diligent in everything that you do, that's when you really become successful. And that's when you love what you do, it never feels like you're working. So being diligent at something that I love to do, it almost comes easy. It almost comes like that's what I'm supposed to do. That's a natural thing to do. Have a vision, have a goal in mind, and let that be right in front of you, and always just follow after that vision, and you'll be good. I look at the media and I see that there's a lot of different ways that they impact young people. One is magazines, one is radio, the next one's TV, and there's one that's music. So I actually want to dabble into each one of those categories and have our own Generation News magazine, our own Generation News radio station, our own Generation News music group that produces positive music, and then we have the TV show Generation News. So I think with all those things flowing together, we can have a pretty solid impact in our community. Success to me is just being happy and content in what you do. Always putting God first, and making sure God is the head of your life. Spending time with family, I believe is success. But yeah, just being content in everything that you do and loving everything that you do. And the Bible says, whatsoever a man thinks is what he is. If young people continue to see themselves in a negative light, doing negative things, this goes into their mind and it continues to recycle itself. So every time they watch something, it goes into their mind and it plays in their subconscious. So I kind of wanted to do the same thing with that, except flood them with positive news, with positive media, so that they can begin to recycle this positive thing. And it also inspires young people to do some pretty great things. A lot of kids, they don't know that they can be a doctor, they can be a lawyer, they can be a music producer, a film producer. They just don't know, because a lot of times their family members has never made it to those points. But if they see that there's young people who are out there who are successful in those areas or successful in different careers, they kind of feel that it's possible for them to be successful in those careers. So now that career becomes attainable to them. I'm Justin Ortiz, I'm the Executive Director of Generation News, and I'm changing the way you view this generation.